Homelander versus Sportacus. One of the strongest superheroes and villains out there is going up against one of the mightiest heroes and strongest humans. While this fight might seem like a joke, it's really anything but. It's way closer than you might think. So who really wins here? Who's going to be coming out on top? Let's get into it. So if we're talking about Homelander, well, for starters, he's a psychopath, a truly unhinged lunatic. I mean, he's beefed with a baby before. He's got no problem killing anybody. He's got a weird thing for milk, which is just weird. But the real question is just exactly how strong is this guy? Well, he's quite literally the strongest man in the world and has never met anyone who's been his physical equal. And I guess you could argue that Soldier Boy exists now, but I don't even know if Soldier Boy is his true equal. Sure, Soldier Boy can give Homelander a good fight, but Homelander said it himself.
Oh, no. I'm the upgrade.
Soldier Boy can injure him, can blow him up with those explosions that would also theoretically depower him, but in a straight up fight, Homelander is still winning that one. He was still winning that one. He's easily crushed skulls, punched into a man's stomach, and casually tossed a man hundreds of feet into the air. And since he is the strongest hero in the world, it logically makes sense that he's stronger than all the other members of the Seven. He's stronger than Stormfront, who easily destroyed a building. He's stronger than Queen Maeve, clearly, who easily stopped a speeding armored truck, just brought it to a dead stop. And he is like way stronger than them, stronger than Starlight and Deep and all the rest of them too. Homelander was able to casually knock off the door of a pressurized plane. But here's the thing. He did say he was actually not able to carry the hijacked plane to safety. So he kinda killed a whole lot of people there with that. But it does suggest that he's actually unable to use his full strength when he's up in the air. Instead, it's going to require him to be on the ground, have a solid surface under his legs, plant those feet, or take full advantage of his power. We also saw the same thing when he wasn't able to stop a falling bus in some concrete when that was brought down on top of him. He should be way stronger than that, easily catch it, but he was hovering up in the air when it happened. Bottom line though, Homelander's pretty strong. But while Homelander is crazy strong, well, durability is definitely Homelander's weakest asset. Not really because he's not durable, but just because he's never really had anything truly test his durability. He's bulletproof and was unscathed by a bus and rubble crashing down on top of him, but the guy is obviously intended to be invincible. It was said that if Homelander had ever turned against America or turned against Vought, they'd have no way to take him down. It's also said that there isn't a weapon on Earth they haven't thrown at him. They all failed. Obviously, this is including nukes. So, just from those statements, Homelander is incredible. But here's the thing, it's totally possible that Homelander actually isn't as durable as he makes himself out to be, or as everyone else makes him out to be. I mean, Soldier Boy was getting his hits in, and getting in some dang good hits while he was at it. He even gave Homelander some bruises, forced him to apply a little foundation to cover it up. Queen Maeve went against him, stabbed him straight in the ear hole. You got a little deeper there, and Homelander is done for. Even Stormfront was able to throw him around, but that was definitely more the kinky type of roughhousing, rather than the I'm gonna beat your face in now the other two were doing. And another thing is, just like Homelander doesn't have a ton of durability feats, doesn't really have a ton of speed feats either. I mean, in fact, I don't think we've really ever even seen Homelander's speed in a fight. except maybe like once or twice. That being said, though, he is really pretty fast when he's just flying around. He's regularly flown at Mach speed, even reached up to Mach 5 while saving Butcher from that C4 explosion, which is looking like his top speed. Instead, while Homelander does have all these incredible powers, and sometimes he'll have to use them in a fight, more often than not, Homelander is just completely spamming his heat vision all over the place. For the most part, well, it's really effective. He can easily slice through flesh and bone, just kill people with one glance. He can also use it against other supers and send them flying backwards. All in all, while Homelander is pretty powerful, easily the most powerful supe we've seen with the boys so far. But I want you to take everything I just said, take all that and throw it out the window. Because now we gotta talk about Sportacus. Sportacus is one of the strongest, healthiest people in the world, making sure to constantly keep active by exercising and playing just about every sport you can think of. He decided to stick around in Lazy Town, doing everything he can to encourage the kids living there to live healthy lifestyles and save them when they get into trouble. And while he's already peak human, Sportacus gets even stronger and faster by eating sports candy, basically any fruit or vegetable. No matter how often Robbie Rotten, the town's resident villain, has tried to make Lazy Town lazy, Sportacus is always going to be there to promote being active, eating healthy, and getting a good night's sleep. Just on a baseline, Sportacus is repeatedly called the strongest person in the world. He's definitely proven that. He's able to unironically rip through metal, pull a bulldozer, or even pull back his airship and hold it into place. So just like what Captain America did with that helicopter, except on a way, way bigger scale, because it's literally an airship. It's massive. And again, this is all Sportacus at just his baseline. Because when he eats his apples, well, he gets like exponentially stronger. Things that he couldn't do before, well, now he can do with ease. After eating an apple, he was able to lift up a part of the Great Pyramid of Giza all by himself, just of his own pure brute strength. And even if he's just tilting the pyramid, even if you just account for lifting half the pyramid's weight, that is still hundreds of thousands, even millions of tons. And Sportacus did it all by himself with his own pure strength. Captain America who? Sportacus is the real peak human here. And that is way, way above anything that Homelander has ever done. One of the best feats of strength that Homelander has shown off was it's throwing around a military jet. That's in the comics, not even the show. Sportacus is doing stuff like that when he's still at his base level. Forget when he's eating the sports candy. But what about durability? Well, that's a little bit harder to say, because Sportacus is just never even injured. Like really, he's not even fazed by anything around him. Like when Sportacus and Robbie Rotten were at ground zero for an explosion, and that explosion launched Robbie Rotten literally halfway across the city, Sportacus took it point blank, no problem. And we can actually use Robbie Rotten for scaling here, because we know that Sportacus is stronger, faster, and tougher than Robbie Rotten. He's literally the most fit person in the world. So anything that Robbie Rotten has done, well, it's safe to assume that Sportacus can do it too, and make it look way easier. And let me tell you, Robbie Rotten is actually super, super tough. Not only did he survive that explosion, but he was hit by a cannonball and launched across town. Took it no problem. Robbie Rotten has even been shot straight up into outer space and crashed into the moon. Sportacus should be even tougher than that, especially when you add on the amp that he gets from his sports candy. And I think that makes him tougher than Homelander. Because yes, there's the legend that Homelander survived every single weapon known to mankind. And it's clear he did go through some rigorous testing, but Queen Maeve was also able to injure him with her punches. And love Maeve, but she is nowhere near strong enough to punch someone into the moon. Sportacus should actually be the tougher one here. And then we get to speed, and Homelander is stupid fast when he wants to be. Add on the fact that he can fly, and this is an area where he probably has an advantage. But just like everything else about Sportacus, he's surprisingly fast. And not just that, but he's incredibly agile, doing all sorts of totally unnecessary flips and jumps. But you can't deny, the man has style. He's regularly fast enough to play sports all by himself, throwing the ball, then jumping to catch it. He's also regularly outpaced balls that he just hit with his baseball bat. Well, you might want to say that that doesn't make him that fast, or at least not as fast as Homelander. You might want to think again. See, Sportacus is able to hit a ball ridiculously fast. Like he hit an apple to the moon with his bat. It was in the air for just a few seconds. So that's the kind of speed that Sportacus is capable of outpacing or reacting to, which means that he's likely able to keep pace with Homelander too, especially since Homelander doesn't really use his speed that often, and should be able to easily dodge heat vision with all his jumps and flips. Because look here, if Black Noir can do it, then Sportacus can easily do it. Now, the catch to all this is that Sportacus is a pacifist. He doesn't fight, he'd rather make friends and help people and promote healthy lifestyles. So we don't actually know how he'd do in a fight. But if we're speculating here and saying that Sportacus decides to finally fight Homelander to protect Lazytown, well, I think it's safe to say he'd be a really good fighter. Give him a little while to learn the sport of martial arts, and he'd be a monster, just like he is with every other sport out there. And even if you don't want to say that, well, Sportacus is already stronger, tougher, and just as fast as Homelander. And considering that Homelander isn't really a good fighter, and he's a bully who doesn't do well when people stand up to him, well, I actually think Sportacus wins here. Not just that, but Sportacus should dominate this fight. It really isn't even close. Sportacus wins. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.